Recording.
All right, we're back, and we're hoping to do some more motovlogs this year. But here it is, 2022. We're in mid-April, and this is my 1 year, just a little over 1 year review of my DRZ 470 build. And I have to say that I'm glad I have this bike in this configuration. Because it wasn't this fun in stock form, even with the FCR carburetor. And obviously I'm getting more horsepower out of the stock engine. So I'm changing my oil a little bit more often than you would. I'd feel pretty comfortable doing it about 1,000 miles, but I'm paying attention to what it's telling me. And what is my oil telling me is very important, just like what is my spark plug telling me about my engine health and how it's running. So, has my power changed? Has anything changed over this course of about a year? Not really. I got a little bit more comfortable with this bike. It's got just under 2,500 miles on the build. This is a 2016 DRZ 400 SM factory, and it's, I've got a 150 60 17 rear wheel and the stock size front wheel, and I've not sprung it or anything in the rear or in the front. I've just done some of the needed adjustments that you do, because obviously if you know these, they dive a little bit more than you want them to, and they rebound a lot harder than you want them to in the front, and in the rear they're really, I'd say soft, if you will. But so I added some freeload to it, adjusted the sag, and turned a few knobs to speed up or mostly slow down the compression dampening and rebound dampening. I've changed the speed in which it does that to match with that of the front. But I ride this bike primarily back and forth to the gym, and I hoon around. I ride it some at the track, and I go 65, 70 miles an hour. Sorry to my friends in the kilometer speaking world. You'll just have to do that conversion in your head. But highway speed, and it just takes it pretty good. I have another build of this size. That's my more woods bike, and it's got a stock exhaust. I'm sure you can hear the exhaust on this one. I have an FMF power bomb on it, and I've stretched a Two Brothers slip-on exhaust to make it fit, because they're only made, or at least they were made, I don't know if they're still doing them, for the stock size header. Mine is made is stretched to make it fit over the top of the FMF power bomb, and reduces that restriction. So, and my E model I was noticing these people up here were flicking their cigarette ashes out their window And that's kind of a dick move. So, see, it doesn't have any hard time getting up to 80 miles an hour to do that. And it handles quite well. Oh, got there in time enough to wait for a train. That's pretty nice. So it gives me some time to complete this for the most part, I think. And it's kind of a shorter video, I suppose. But I mean, overall, it's held its composure. I may do a top end on it this winter. Probably not going to be necessary, but so we can see how 4,000 or 5,000 miles, however many miles I end up putting on it, how that treats it. But it doesn't have any problem pulling it up easily in second gear and third gear. It's just got the balls where you want a supermoto to have it. Now, it being a DRZ, it's going to have the weight of a DRZ, but what are you going to do? You can't make everybody happy. Well, notice how I kind of slided right on in there, probably past the cigarette flicking person. And that's what you need to do. That's rude, and we're in a fire danger time. And if you don't have an ashtray in your car, maybe you should stop smoking. It was probably wacky tobacco anyway. The downside of that is I didn't get to wheelie over the railroad tracks, but what are you going to do? You can't win them all. One of my stunt rider friends rode this, and he was really nice to it, actually, because it wasn't his bike. But he was like, wow, this thing's fast. And I said, yes, it is. I mean, for a DRZ, it's fast. So, and that was even earlier in this spring, which, you know, was rather cold, but I changed out a tire for him, which was kind of cool. That was for the UPS guy. That was a pretty nice little shift through. But he thought that was pretty cool. And you know, he brought it up to about balance point. And I think he really appreciated that wider and shorter tire than stock. So, I mean, overall, you know, like I said, this bike, it was made to make the emissions people happy in the early 2000s, and with a carburetor that has stock. I mean, you can do a lot of things with it. You can get a lot of response out of it by clutching it up and whatnot. But it's nothing like a flat side, so that's a really big upgrade. A big bore is a really good upgrade for these things. But the Stroker big bore, there's not much of a comparison. So my review is still the same as my previous reviews, but I'm just trying to keep you guys informed, people that follow my content. And you know, I'm getting more and more comfortable with this bike too, which means I need to really be careful and keep riding and giving it respect. But yeah, you can see I'm not a punk. I use my tire, and there's my bike. Also, these are the Chinese oil filter covers, and it's got a magnet in the center of that. A very wise upgrade on there. And obviously I have kickstart, and that also came with a metal dipstick, which some people have some troubles with them stripping out because you're going into a metal slot there. And obviously, I don't really have any much more to say about it other than it's dirty and I like it, and I think I'm going to keep this bike for a very long time. So thanks for watching.